Let's finish recycling this clay together. Now that the clay has sat overnight on plaster, it's stiff enough to wedge. Wedging is one of the repetitive tasks you'll find yourself doing often if you work with clay. I wedge my clay to ensure its consistency is even throughout. By consistency, I mean that some parts of the clay may be drier and stiffer, while other parts might still have moisture, making them softer. Working with clay that has even texture and hardness is much more predictable. Clay is made up of tiny microscopic particles that are shaped a bit like flat hexagons. When you wedge the clay, you help organize these particles so they're more evenly arranged. While it's impossible to get them perfectly aligned just by wedging, the process makes the clay more consistent and easier to work with, especially if you intend to use that clay for throwing on the wheel. Wedging also helps to eliminate air bubbles trapped in the clay. Air bubbles can be an unpleasant feeling when you're throwing, creating what feels like odd lumps that interrupt your rhythm. Throwing is all about keeping things steady and even, so wedging them out ensures a smoother experience. There's a common misconception that air bubbles cause pottery to explode in the kiln. In reality, it's trapped moisture that causes explosions. Air bubbles can create pockets where steam can easily collect, but if your piece is fully dry, those bubbles won't matter. Wedging is also quite physically demanding. So while wedging might seem like a simple task, it's very physically demanding, and it's definitely one of the more important steps in preparing clay for use.